Chapter 3: What Works and What Doesn't. The discovery of any new thing of value is a time of excitement, and like the dreams we had as children of finding chests of gold, doubloons, and priceless jewels, there is a part of us that keeps seeking the treasure. But instead of looking for rubies and on the gold, I found myself searching for a single small key, one that I would one that would unlock a door I know must lead to a better life for many. I was searching for something that I sensed had been missing from the books and messages and solution of so many who had worked before me. It's become obvious to me that if the final solution to a better life, more happiness and personal fulfillment had already been discovered, then something vital was missing, something that was so essential, so important to the whole process of achieving success, that without it, the other solution would not work, at least not for any length of time. I began to recognize that this missing ingredient could be the glue which would, for the first time, bind the first time bind all the other elements of success and self fulfillment together. One look around told me that my first assumptions were correct. Even the best selling success solutions were able to create lasting changes in only a handful of the tens of thousands of people who tried them. They would work for a time, and then the average individual would revert to his old ways. After the first excitement of the brand new self belief wears off, the dream soon gave way to the realities of everyday living. Since the old programming controls the habit, it is the old habits which once again take over. The new goal of qu- conquering the world and making great changes, which sounded so good in the book, is left to be tackled again some other day. I would prefer to be more optimistic, but how many people do you know who really have their lives totally together, which means something like being successfully successful day after day, year after year? It has been proved that it's not impossible to live a full and rewarding life day in and day out. It's just highly unusual. So even though we were told that any of us could live highly successful lives and we were given specific instruction as to how to go about it, very few of us actually have done it, at least not for longer than a few weeks or a few months. Then it's back to the old way, just like before, living life as we always have, maybe getting a little ahead or getting by and wondering why we aren't doing as well as we think we should. Even the very best ideas, which we found in best selling books, even the ones that looked like they would work for certain, would work for a while and then slowly lose their importance in our lives. Exciting idea, great breakthroughs, and inspiration for the mind which seemed to offer so much become once read books sitting forgotten on a shelf. Could it be, I wondered, that the missing ingredient I thought was somehow connected to our individual programming in order to learn what that answer, and in order to learn what does work, I decided that it would help to first understand what does not work and why, on the trail of a sensible solution. Of all of all the self-help concepts, I have uncovered the concept of programming the brain with a more successful new picture of yourself is the most sensible. I'm not the first behavioral researcher or author to figure this out. Others have come to the same conclusion as I, that whatever you put into your mind in one way or another is what you will get back out in one way or another. Although not every writer in the self development field has arrived at the same conclusion only because they were looking at the problem in a different way, there are those who have written books and shown millions the way to a better life, if not permanently, at least for a time, and while they were leading others toward happiness and a more abundant life. I was busy watching the great philosophies of success. In time, I began to analyze why only a few of the success principles worked and why most did not. I studied the philosophies of success, analyzed the lists of instruction, the how to's of making more money, being better manager, losing weight, of overcoming depression, getting a better job, setting goals, living with others, managing time, or just generally being more successful. I tried the success technique for myself and talked to dozens of others from many walks of life who had done the same. I talked at length with many of the leaders of the success industry, corporation, whose business is to sell as success. I talked to the customers who attended the seminars, bought the books, or listened to the cassettes. I talked to the employees of the companies who were in the business of selling success formulas to learn if they to apply the principles which their companies promoted to learn what really worked and what did not. I immersed myself in the world of success, examining every facet of that fascinating field from the inside out. I consulted with the leaders of the industry. I examined their method, their systems, and their solution. During those years of observing, practicing the techniques, and analyzing the results of others, I continued to ask myself the question, if there are so many good solutions, why aren't they creating permanent changes in our lives? As an example, why do so many people who read a book on something as worthwhile as positive thinking decide to start thinking differently and end up 6 months later thinking just as they did before they read the book? Eventually, I came to some clear conclusion about self improvement. One, most of the authors are on the right track for the most part. They appear to be sincere, caring individual true believers in the very best of the human race. Two, if you follow their advice, most of it will help. Third, if you stop following their advice, invariably it will stop working. So on of the success principles, I studies work longer without continued effort than others. However, is nothing However, nothing you read once is permanent. None of the self help programs continue to work by themselves or without constant reinforcement. 30 years of how to eat. You may or may not be aware of the kinds of self help concepts I'm talking about. In case you haven't spent a lot of time improving yourself through the reading of self help literature during the last 20 or 30 years, I will summarize its most popular teaching for you. The literature says that if you want to be more successful, you should believe in yourself, keep your priorities straight, take responsibility for yourself, create your own future, focus on what you want, learn to visualize the outcome of your goals, never let anyone control your destiny for you. Be creative, think big, control stress, be aggressive and assertive, think positively, chart your own course, set specific goals and review them often. Spend some time each day improving your mind, review your results and readjust as necessary. Be tolerant, do everything with love, don't hate, don't have courage. Recognize that most of what we believe about life is an illusion. Be honest, work hard, believe money is good and it will come to you. Have faith if you agree to do it. Enjoy it. Be strong. Show affection. Manage your time. Dress right. Learn to sell yourself. Take time off. Believe in a higher self. Eat right. Live prudently. Seek the aid of others who are in sympathy with your goals. Give assistance to others. Keep motivated. Meditate. Be optimistic. Trust others and be worthy of trust. Recognize that success is more than money. Be kind and see the big picture. Take care of the details, get organized, don't uh, procrastinate, stay in control, keep fit, see problems as opportunities, learn everything you can about your job. Don't be afraid of success, be generous to others, believe in God, reach a little higher than you thought you could. Set your sight, take actions, never give up. If you do all that I have been told you, you will be successful. Even being skeptical, I have to agree if you combine the best of all the self-help or self-improvement teachings available to us, it's clear they have given us most of the keys to success. If that is true, and I believe that is, then what's wrong? If the principles and in many cases even the detailed instruction are all clearly outlined for us, why do we need more books, more solution, and more reminders? In a recent year, it was estimated that more than 2,000 million words of self-help books and materials were purchased in the US alone. That's quite an industry. With all of that, what is missing? What is the missing key? What would complete the puzzle of offer each of us lasting individual success and fulfillment? The missing ingredients. So let's see them in the next video and thank you. The missing ingredients. Interesting.